Stadium, 78,000 to see a battle for first place in the AFC West. The Chargers and the Chiefs. The standings in the West. San Diego ahead by a game. Beat Kansas City earlier. If they should win today, 2-game lead. 2 wins over the Chiefs. So it's a big game for the Chargers, but it's a huge game for Kansas City. Hello, everyone. Dick Enberg with Bob Trumpy on this Veterans Day weekend battle east of Kansas City. And you knew it was important the first time you talked to Marty Schottenheimer.
Yeah, he didn't want to talk about the game. The more Marty Schottenheimer avoids talking about this week's opponent, the more important the game is. He didn't say anything. He talked about Miami's injury problems. He wants his players to overcome the injuries they have.
After a brilliant week of weather, it started raining just a couple of hours ago. And for Kansas City, they played today without 2 very key ingredients. Let's talk about Marcus Allen's replacement.
Well, Marcus Allen's replaced by Greg Hill. What they lose in Marcus Allen is so much. The leadership, his short yardage ability. In Greg Hill, they've got a great running back for the future. But he's yet to really catch on to the pass game here in Kansas City. So he's not going to be the receiving threat that Marcus Allen would be.
And for San Diego, Natron Means looking for his 6th straight 100-yard rushing game. He leads the AFC in rushing the football. Number 20 Means in his 2nd year from North Carolina.
And of course, the good thing about Kansas City or San Diego's running game, it's an up-the-field running game. So on a bad weather day, you really like the San Diego Chargers' chances a lot.
Chargers get the ball first. Lynn Elliott to kick it off. Deep to return. Andre Coleman, who played in this part of the country at Kansas State a year ago. Coleman at the 7. Little daylight, fumbles the ball, and Elliott recovers. Kansas City with a break immediately. Darren Anderson, number 44, made the hit for the Chiefs. Coleman coughs it up, and the kicker Elliott in the right spot for the recovery.
This is not a big hit. You can already see the effect of the inclement weather. That thing was just so slick, it bounced right off his hand, Dick. Huge break for Kansas City. Watch, very little contact here. The ball just kind of ricochets out of his arms.
So Joe Montana takes over at the San Diego 40-yard line. That's Walker in motion. Montana comes out throwing. Hill, the rookie from Texas A&M, wrapped up on a short gainer. Here are the men in red on offense. Graham replaces Alt at left tackle. Zod Grunhard shields Sigler. Then at right tackle, the starter, with Graham shifting to the other side of the line with the Alt injury. Montana with Greg Hill, the rookie for Marcus Allen. Kimball Landers, good receiver, good blocker. Lake Dawson having a solid year, rookie wide receiver. Willie Davis, Derek Walker, the ex-Charger at tight end, and Tracy Green comes in, as he is now in the double tight end. 2nd and 9. Hill struggles to the 35-yard line, where it'll be 3rd down and 5. Dennis Gibson leading the defense in white of San Diego, and this is a good, solid young defensive team. Mims, Lee, Davis, and O'Neal with 27 sacks, only 2 off the NFL lead. Griggs, Gibson, and the sensational Junior Seau are the backers. Gordon and Harper at corner. Carrington and Stanley Richard are the safeties. Sean Van Horst rides in the nickel. On 3rd and 5, Montana throwing through traffic, and it is intercepted. Stanley Richard, he's had some big returns, not this time apparently, as he's tackled at the 24-yard line. So Montana throwing through all that underbrush. There were all kinds of charges around him, and it looked as if that one took off. It flew on him.
He was trying to throw that ball away. He had gone through his progression of receivers. You see the middle pressure, 98 Lee. That ball tip bounces off the helmet of Junior Seau and ends up being an interception. Huge play for San Diego.
And Stanley Richard picks off his 3rd of the season.
Left-hand side of the screen is Seau. Look at the athletic ability of Junior Seau. He drops 12 yards in coverage, and then when it looks like Montana has the opportunity to run, he's spying on Montana up there to knock the ball away. Richard makes the interception.
Off the top of the helmet of Seau to Richard. So 2 quick turnovers in the rain at Arrowhead. Dan Humphries His first pass complete to Natron Means. And Means dragged down at the 29-yard line after a pickup of 5. Jamison makes the tackle. Means, what a story he is. He was picked in the 2nd round by Bobby Beathard when he moved up 2 years ago in the draft, getting a Los Angeles Raider pick in a draft day trade to get Means. And Bobby told me this morning he had Means number 10 in the 1st round, and when he was still there, 41st. So we've got to move up and get him.
It proves that draft is not an exact science. A lot of great players are passed by.
Means first carry. And he can't wiggle free. Wanted to get outside, but smothered, no gain. The entire center of that red-shirted defense to make the stop. Look at the San Diego offensive starters. Swain, Kokozo. Hall is playing injured. He's considered their best lineman. Malinicek and Brock, the veteran. Humphries starts after laying out last week. Means, Sayan Jefferson wideouts. Dwayne Young, the tight end. Papuno's the H-back. Martin and Harmon come in the 3 wide, and that's the setup now. This crowd incredibly loud. Humphries on top, has a man wide open, and Sean Jefferson couldn't get there. Jefferson had 2 steps on the defense. The pass a little long.
Well, they got the defense they wanted. They call the right play, and Humphries just overthrows a little bit. Excellent acceleration by Mark Collins. Collins, 25, not a man-to-man type of defensive back. Jefferson has his speed. You don't get many chances like that. Humphries would like to have that one back.
Dale Carter back as Brian Wagner to punt for the Chargers. End over end. Carter lays back and now takes it and slips down at the 34-yard line. So we've seen already the rain and the slick turf will have an impact today.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper is just what the doctor ordered. By Network MCI Business. Install it in your office today. By the all-new Chevy Blazer. Test drive it at your local Chevy dealer. And by Wendy's. After 25 years, quality is still our recipe.
The Veterans Memorial in Midtown Kansas City. A reminder on this weekend as we celebrate Veterans Day. Thanks we owe all our men and women who fought in the various wars of this century so that we might enjoy the life that we have. Joe Montana. It is incomplete. Lake Dawson. No, they're going to call that. No, now they say out of bounds.
Oh, that's close. He caught that ball.
Caught it, but he was pushed out of bounds. Lake Dawson, they're saying that he would have stayed in bounds but for contact. That's a marvelous play by the rookie.
Yeah, Dwayne Harper right there. Look at the one-arm grab. Does have control of it and has the sense of mind to look back at the official. Bump and run by Dwayne Harper. Excellent throw by Joe Montana. And kind of cradles it in. You see the official looking down at the feet, but they counted for 11 yards.
He had both feet in and was grasping it with the one arm, cradling it. Great catch. First down. Hill to the 46-yard line where 320-pound Reuben Davis, number 93, Ruby Doobie, makes the tackle.
The key to the Kansas City offense, this West Coast offense that's run here, is they got to include everybody. When they function and function well on offense, they throw it around to any receiver. There's Paul Hackett, the offensive coordinator. They'll hand the ball to a lot of different running backs. They must be able to spread it around to succeed today.
Montana with Hill, the rookie, behind him. 2nd and 9. This time it's Kimball Anders, and Anders hit in the backfield by Davis, slowed him up, and Davis slow himself getting up. Davis has played hurt all of the year. He dislocated his left elbow in the first game of the season against Denver. Didn't miss a game. Played the next game with that big heavy brace on his left elbow, and of course that's the same form of brace that Stan Humphries is wearing, reduced somewhat because of the throwing requirements of the quarterback, but Davis appeared to hurt
the right arm,
a wrist or hand. Third down and 7. Montana. Incomplete. Good play by David Griggs, the linebacker, to jar Anders, who was going to be short of the first down anyway. So Montana will have to see the punting team come on. This San Diego defense perhaps underrated around the NFL.
And the guy you just talked about, I think, is the biggest acquisition, Reuben Davis. He, along with Sean Lee, they just solidify the inside of that defense, and Davis being attended to on the sideline. They're looking at his right elbow now.
Louis Aguiar, the former Jet punter. Ooh. Good kick. Gordon fakes the reception, and it lands well into the end zone. And that was Andre Coleman in on top of Aguiar. Timeout. Welcome back. Contact lens being applied. Dale Carter, the cornerback, went off with an injured shoulder, but we understand he will return. Not in there now. Jay Taylor replaces him at the corner. From the 20-yard line, no score early. Humphries off play action, in trouble, and Neil Smith with a sack. And the home run swing, his 8.5 sack of the year.
Neil told us yesterday that this is personal for me because the first time they played San Diego, there's Smith right there. First time they played San Diego, he was playing with just one arm, had that cast on his left hand. He beats Brock 67. That's a good power rush by Neil Smith and a great start for him.
And Humphries fortunate to hold on to the football. 2nd and 18. Means out of bounds at the 18-yard line where it'll be 3rd and 12. Let's take a look at the Kansas City Chiefs defense. Smith, Phillips, Saliamua, and Mickle, the front four. Derek Thomas, Tracy Simeon, George Jameson are the backers, with Collins and Carter the starters at corner, Whitmore and White at safety. In the dime, Taylor and Terry come in, along with Charles Mincy. Courtney Hall, who tried to start, has a bad knee. Curtis Whitley has replaced him at center. 3rd and 12. Karani Harmon gets a block, and Harmon dancing, looking for first down yardage, and pushed out just shy of the 30. You saw that San Diego bench running up as if to say, come on. He got to the 30-yard line and did. That was a terrific effort by Harmon to pick up the yardage necessary for the first down.
Called by Kansas City Chiefs defensive players the best third down back in the league. A nice block by Papunu, 86, to help. And then Jay Taylor, and almost a test of strength to get to the there's Papunu, 86. Nice move, Ronnie Harmon, for the first down.
Chargers first down, and here's Means slamming forward to the 39-yard line in a game of almost 9.
Dick, it's interesting. We talked to Bobby Ross last night. He brought up a very interesting point. He said, look, we're a young team, and what we have to do is get all parties involved early. So he's thrown it to Harmon. He's tried to pass down the field to Sean Jefferson. This is their ball-peen hammer, Natron Means. They know they can go to him at any time, but they got to get everybody else in the game.
Means again. Nothing there. No gain. David Whitmore, the safety, playing up tight to make the tackle. Whitmore from Stephen F. Austin. Played with the Giants and with the 49ers before coming here to Kansas City.
And that's certainly his role. Not a coverage man. He is a strong tackler. As a matter of fact, he does not look good to me. Warming up, he was limping, but he's in there for his tackling skills.
And he limps off now as Ronnie Harmon comes in. And the give to Harmon. And flags down as Harmon's tackled at the 40, shy of the first down, and it's holding San Diego.
Dave Adolph, defensive coordinator. Paul Hackett, offensive coordinator, sit side by side. Adolph, the defensive coordinator, first time he's been upstairs, has a better look at who's in the game for his opponent and how things are lining out. See, the offensive guy shuts up. You know, leave me alone, be quiet. Adolph does the talking when the defense is on the field.
We're going to measure first to see whether or not Harmon made the first down. It doesn't appear that he did. If he didn't, then Kansas City will decline the penalty. Ron Blum is the referee today. And he might have made it at that. No. Yes, he did make the yardage, so they'll take the 10-yard penalty.
Yeah, that's 2 first downs by just a little bit.
Holding. 71 offense, 10 yards. Repeat third down.
Joe Malinichik is tagged.
I have a feeling you're going to see a lot of holding calls today on a muddy field. You lose your footing quickly. That's going to happen. I mean, that's just part of the game when you've got slick footing.
They mismarked the ball. They didn't penalize from the original line of scrimmage, but from where they measured for first down, it should be back at the 28-yard line and not the 30-yard line. Humphries almost got the play underway with a +2 in the yardage, and one of the linesmen came racing in. The head linesman noted the error. Now they'll mark it at the right spot. Actually generous even at that, at the 29. Backfield to Papunu, former Chief, and he gets to the 35. That's 5 yards short of a first down, and the Chargers will have to punt. These two teams battled out at Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego in the 5th game of the season, and while Montana and the Chiefs ran up and down the field, and Montana threw for over 300 yards, the Chargers kept Kansas City out of the end zone and won it 20-6. Carter is okay. He's the deep man. Beautiful kick by Wagner. Drives Carter all the way back to, fumbles the ball. Who's got it? I believe the Chiefs were able to recover. Carter had a friend. Oh my, that could have been disastrous. Right through the wickets of Dale Carter. And you'll see the Kansas City support cast come in to save Carter from some considerable embarrassment. 6:27 left in the first quarter. No score.
One of the things that Marty Schottenheimer wanted with this new West Coast offense was more scoring. Well, has it helped?
Now the West Coast offense and Montana 93 and 94, and actually lower than in 92 when Steve DeBerg was the quarterback here.
They've not gotten more points.
Give to Anders, and he is solidly smacked after a 1-yard gain. Ball now to the 13-yard line as Chris Mims gets off the bottom of the pile along with Reuben Davis. So in talking with Marty Schottenheimer this week, he said, you point blankly asked him, are you happy with the West Coast offense?
Yeah, well, his response was everything but the points. We do get the ball around to the right people. We spread it around. We're hard to defense, but we can't get the thing in the end zone. And inside the 20, we're awful.
Montana, good play action fake, looking for a big one, and he's got a man open. Oh, Lake Dawson was there, but at the last minute, Dwayne Harper, beaten by a stride, able to recover and leap up, deflect the ball.
That's twice now we've seen Dwayne Harper, not really known for his coverage skills. Great coverage on Lake Dawson. This is that double zone that San Diego runs. Excellent acceleration, nice extension. And now with Kansas City, Dick, facing 3rd and 10, the field position has changed dramatically in this game all of a sudden. Kansas City now backed up. And you mentioned during the commercial, nice place for a deep shot here. They almost got it done.
On 3rd and long, screen to Anders. Good blocking. Somebody got Sayal, and Anders all the way to the 32-yard line. Outstanding blocks in front of Anders. Doug Miller finally made the tackle.
This is well set up. Anders is right behind the offensive line, right in front of Montana. Excellent blocks. 61 Grunhard gets Junior Seau on the ground. Well, that when you draw them up, they don't normally work that good. 18 yards and a nice pickup.
5 minutes left in this opening quarter. Anders with the biggest gain of the day thus far in offense. This is Greg Hill, trapped in his own backfield, and Seau finishes what Dennis Gibson began. Let's go to New York. Greg Gumbel in this update.
All right, Dick, in Philadelphia, Mark Rippon, the starter at quarterback today. 3-yard touchdown pass to Mark Carrier. The Browns have added a field goal in 9 of the 10 games they've played this season. They've scored first. They lead at 10-0.
Comes as an early surprise. The Browns at Philadelphia with an early 10-0 lead. Rain seems to have slackened considerably. Just a fine mist at the moment. On 2nd and 14. And there was Leslie O'Neal to either deflect the pass or force Montana to try to throw around him. Incomplete.
They tried to set up a little flash screen here for Greg Hill. Had motion out in front of Greg Hill. And I think Joe's just avoiding it. Oh, Leslie O'Neal does but knock the ball away. That's twice now. Sayal once, O'Neal once. That'll cut down your statistics.
O'Neal, a 4-time Pro Bowler, and there's Montana's numbers early. The interception, a deflection off the helmet of Junior Sayal. On 3rd and 14. He goes underneath, incomplete, intended for Jimmy Johnson. No, he hasn't come back as a player. That's Jimmy Johnson from Howard University in his 6th year. He was on the Washington Redskins Super Bowl champions of Joe Gibbs a few years ago.
Yeah, I don't think the Jimmy Johnson we're thinking of would come back as a player. It messes hair up.
Well, but he's in the news every day. You know, every day you read he's going to be somewhere. You know, you never know. He might show up as a player.
Not that one.
Darian Gordon had that big 90-yard touchdown return on a punt against the Raiders earlier this year. Aguilar taking his time, and that was Eric Castle flying in. Good kick. Gordon looking for blocks. And flags is what he sees, and red shirts, and they're flying all over. 3 different flags thrown, and Gordon down at the 25-yard line. 55-yard kick by Aguilar. His longest this year, 61.
Dick, big games like this, bad weather, punters can win or lose the game for you. Field position, so yes.
Wagner had an outstanding kick earlier.
Yeah.
They'll sort this out, but it appears that the Chargers are the team retreating. No surprise there. So that'll take it down inside the 15.
Holding 28 on the receiving team and 54 with a hold on the receiving team. 1 foul is enforced. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
We saw Boss Ross barking away. He's not happy with his special teams. He's a patient man, but he feels there's been too many mistakes, and that cost them a possible win at Atlanta last Sunday.
Yeah, Dick, especially a lot of backup players have one responsibility alone: play special teams. And he wants them to play without penalties. That was on Miller.
Half the distance, takes it to the 17. Natron Means trying to get outside and does. To the 30 and knocked into the Kansas City bench at the 30. A first down. 13 on the play. Means with 5 straight 100-yard rushing games. 125 against Kansas City in game 1. That's his tops for the year.
One of the things San Diego does very well. Watch 86. Former Kansas City Chief. He is the H-back. Lead block by Papuno. He kicks out on 41 Whitmore, and the timing of the block is perfect, and Means picks up the first down.
And Means, as Papuno limps off, with 28 yards rushing in this first quarter. He gets the call again. And maybe a yard on the play.
Yeah, they try the counter. Papuno being addressed on the sideline. Limped off a little bit, but with this muddy field, this grass field here, anything sideways is counterproductive for San Diego's offense. They tried the counter there, and it's not raining too hard, but the footing is going to give way here, and this is a straight up the field, push him and shove him kind of offense.
Ronnie Harmon, and he gets only a yard or 2. Solid smack again from the Kansas City Chiefs.
Strange.
Eric Thomas and as they unpile Dan Saliamua.
Didn't mean to interrupt, Dick, but watch Harmon. He cuts to the back of this run. This is designed to go way to the right. Thomas up underneath Swain, right there to make the tackle. There's no blocking there for Ronnie Harmon.
Third down 7. The Raiders lineman last Sunday said they couldn't hear the entire game because of the noise at Arrowhead. Humphries just does get it away, almost intercepted. In possession was Doug Terry. And Derek Thomas almost picked it out of the hand of Stan Humphries as he delivered.
Yeah, there were a couple of almost there. You're right. Derek Thomas did almost strip it away. From the far side, 58 on Swain. The offensive tackle takes that swipe. And then this ball is appears to be more intended for Doug Terry than Sean Jefferson, number 80. I think Stan is saying, Sean, keep running, keep moving, don't stop.
Wagner kicking to a new punt returner after Carter fumbled the last time. This is Dana Hughes. Doesn't call for the fair catch and is hit immediately at the 30-yard line. 37-yard punt. Montana starts from his 29-yard line. 2 minutes left in this opening quarter. Give to Kimball Anders. Earns a couple. Darren Carrington up to lead the defensive charge.
This may be one of the most difficult situations for the Kansas City offense that they'll face all season long, because the guy they like to give it to, Marcus Allen, can't play, so they've got to spread the ball around. Anders more of a receiver than a runner. They've used Donnell Bennett, number 30, Greg Hill a little bit here, a little bit there. They're trying to find out, Kansas City is, what they can do today.
Hill and Anders behind Montana on second down. And Joe to the sidelines, incomplete. Lake Dawson the target. Stanley Richard coming over from safety to make the play. Hannah Storm joins us on the sidelines.
Well, Dick, this is the first true test for the Arrowhead Stadium field as far as grass is concerned, because this thing was just sodded this year. And what they're concerned about is the middle of the field. This is the third game here in 4 weeks. In fact, they're even considering resodding between the hash marks after this game. The middle of the field is getting pretty torn up down here. Most of the players are wearing 3/4-inch cleats to compensate. Also, I must point out, it's getting really windy down here. The winds are kicking up out of the north, and a lot of the players said that could be a problem as well, Dick.
All right, thanks, Hannah. Third down and 9. And Anders right into the San Diego defense, and the fans not happy with that call.
Not a bad call, though. I mean, you don't want to take a chance in games like this. Big games for the division, bad weather. Play the percentages. Marty Schottenheimer, Paul Hackett, very smart. You don't win the game at this point in the game. You lose it.
It's a game where both coaches preach the turnover, and both very successful. And we've already seen 2 early in the game. Darian Gordon at the 25. Aguiar will kick from around his 20. Dying spiral, tough to handle. And it's like a wedge shot to the green at the 27-yard line. A 40-yard punt. No return. No score with just seconds left in this opening quarter, and that'll give us a chance to look ahead to next week here on NBC. 12:30, of course, for NFL Live with our cast of outstanding characters. And then these are the games that you will be seeing. Cleveland, Kansas City, Miami at Pittsburgh. A lot of winning teams on display. San Diego will visit New England, Indianapolis at Cincinnati, and one late game, Jets at Minnesota. Into a pile, and the Chiefs say they've got the ball. No signal yet. Means, who rarely fumbles. The Chiefs came out with the ball. Tracy Simeon has it, but apparently unless this huddle of officials changes the course of the play, they had ruled down or had not ruled anything.
Jerry Seaman, the head of officials, is here. He preaches constantly. You got to call what you see. Second turnover for San Diego.
And for Means, a rare cough up.
Let's see if we can pick up when and where it happens. He's flying through the air. Ball is loose. Excellent call by the officials. Simeon sees it immediately and recovers it. Again, now great field position for Kansas City.
At the San Diego 30. Coleman fumbled on the opening kickoff. Kansas City had it at the 40. That's Hill in motion. Montana screens it. Anders, that play worked earlier, works again for almost 10. Tackled by Saya.
Oh, that was beautifully done. Motion, play action, fake, screen to the backside. See Hill going in motion. You're trying to attract linebackers. And then Anders sneaks up behind the offensive tackle. Well done. Junior Seau finally gets there, but that influence of Hill on the motion and the play action fake took him out of the play.
End of a scoreless first quarter, but the Chiefs are threatening. Natron Means, prior to this game, the first 9 games, the Chargers lost only 3 fumbles. 3. They've lost 2 in the opening quarter today. And it's Joe Montana and the Chiefs starting this second quarter, 2nd and 1 at the 21. Anders, first down and more. They're in the red zone inside the 20-yard line as Willie Davis comes out limping, and this has been an area that has frustrated Marty Schottenheimer. Let's take a look behind the statistics.
Yeah, they beat San Francisco 3 times in the field. Inside the 20, they scored 3 touchdowns. Last time they played San Diego 3 times, 2 field goals, 1 they give up on down. For some reason, this West Coast offense has not functioned inside the 20, and it's something they're trying to fix.
And the Chargers' 3rd toughest in allowing touchdowns inside the 20. Greg Hill tripped up after a gain of a couple. So the running game of the Kansas City Chiefs has been modest at best here in the early going, as Seau logs another tackle. Marcus Allen tried to go, but knee injured late in the Raider game on Sunday night prevents him from playing today. In case you're joining us late, John Alt, the all-pro left tackle, also out. There are the rushing numbers. Montana buying some time. Throws underneath. And it's Danon Hughes, who had only 2 catches all year long, close to a first down.
That's one of the remarkable features, I think, of Joe Montana. Has a sense of what's important and what's not in the game, and knowing the field position from the turnover. I got to make a play here. At 38 years old, he doesn't get out of the pocket often, but he can recognize, man, we got to make something positive here. Looks the field. Danon Hughes makes himself a receiver. A nice pickup, brings up 3rd down and inches. There's so many things that Montana does that don't show up in the stats.
Anders and Bennett, 2 big backs lined up behind Montana. Anders trying to get outside and does not. He loses 3. Stanley Richard up from a safety position to deny, and Darian Gordon finished him off.
His mistake was bouncing outside. Blocking was inside between guard and tackle, and once again inside the 20. They're stopped.
Well, we showed you that behind the statistics number, that the Chiefs struggling inside the 20 to score touchdowns. And so Lynn Elliott comes on, a pattern that is not pleasing Schottenheimer, as Sean Lee, one of the big inside tackles of the Chargers, on all 4s. And as this game wears on, and the kicking taking place in the center of that field, which is slicker and will become muddier, every field goal try will have some adventure tagged to it.
You're absolutely correct. This is almost point blank range for Kansas City, but this is also the stage of the season where you see a lot of guys taking the sideline for you hope no more than a play. The Grizz, Sean Lee.
Well, that's a lot of beef inside. Lee at 300 or more. Davis at 320 or more. And they both were rookies with Tampa Bay in 1988. Sam Weiss said, I want skinnier guys. That's what Davis said.
No, he said he wanted skinny butts. That's what he said.
All right, 27-yard field goal try by Elliott. And it's right down the middle. Kansas City takes the early lead. Natron Means fumble becomes 3 points. 12:32 left in the half. Bobby Ross, a former company commander, tank division during the Berlin crisis. U.S. Army in the early 60s. Boss Ross, his team down 3-0. Elliott to Ronnie Harmon at the 5. No, it's Andre Coleman, and Coleman on this slick field looking for some dancing room, and it's tough to do that. Down he goes at the 16. Marty Grove made the tackle. Well, prior to this game, we had a display by the U.S. Air Force, which reminds us that the Air Force will visit Notre Dame next Saturday at 1:30 Eastern. Notre Dame, a gallant effort against outstanding Florida State team yesterday, but the Seminoles prevailed. And then it's hoop it up. George Gervin and Adrian Dantley, Daryl Dawkins, et al.
Ball start prior to the snap. 87 offense.
As you pointed out, Bob Trumpy, on this wet field position so critical. The Chargers have coughed it up twice at the 40 and at their own 30, and Kansas City with only 3 points. But as you move deeper towards your own goal line, a lot of options are taken away.
And there is no way to fight against that field position. When you're inside your 20, you're using about 10% of your offense, Dick.
Rains harder. 1st and 15. Humphries swings it. Means. Down at the 14, George Jamison with a lock on the ball carrier Means, who has shown not only he can run it but catch it. He's 3rd on the club in receptions coming in with 27.
Which is
catches.
surprising. As much as Means carried it at North Carolina, generally coming out of college, you have to learn how to run the pass routes, and there's also some protection rules there too. But Means has been just a wonderful receiver.
Gain of only 1 on the play. 2nd and 14.
Dick, the injury to Alfred Papuna, which is a knee injury, has really affected San Diego's offense here because they have big differences between their tight ends and their H-backs. That time they didn't have the right personnel on the field, had to take a timeout.
And Deems May, another H-back, injured earlier in this season. Timeout taken by Stan Humphries.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Diet Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Diet Dr. Pepper, the taste you've been looking for. By UPS, the official package delivery company of the NFL. By Little Caesars Pizza, where you always get 2 great pizzas for 1 low price. And by Lexus, maker of the faster and roomier 1995 LS400.
After the timeout called by Humphries, 2nd and 14, scrambling and throwing back, complete to Means. Got some running room over here, but closing the gap again was Jamison. He's played solidly. George Jamison, the former Lion from the University of Cincinnati.
Excellent,
1 yard loss.
Excellent recovery by the defense. When this ball is completed, there's nobody out there to make the tackle. It takes a little look. There's nobody there. Jamison comes from the inside along with Simeon, 54. Excellent tackle out there in open field.
Now 3rd down. Actually a yard gain on the play, so 3rd and 13. Humphries drills this one incomplete. Skipped it to Tony Martin. And from deep in their own end, the Chargers will have to punt it away.
Yeah, so far, nothing has worked for San Diego. 0. Zilch. Nothing.
They've had only 2 first downs in this half. Dale Carter will be the return man for Kansas City. Brian Wagner from Cal State Northridge. A wobbler. Carter backs away and says he isn't going to take it, but does. And is all the way to the 28-yard line. So he slickered the Chargers. He waved it off as if he said, don't anyone touch it, then fielded the ball and returned it 29 yards.
And in case you're wondering, that is legal. You just can't signify a fair catch. He says, no, but when it bounces to him, 1, 2, 3, 4, he is by the coverage right there. Excellent job by San Diego. David Griggs finally making the tackle, and Bobby Ross was worried about the special teams.
He scolded them during the week, called them in one by one and said, hey, you can be replaced. Well, Montana again starts in San Diego territory. Play action to Hill.
Awesome.
Wide open. First down. First and goal. Look at him fight all the way to the 5.
Right now, Kansas City taking advantage of San Diego. Good play action fake. Griggs 92, the only man out there. Montana just enough air underneath the ball to get it over Griggs. And I didn't think Dawson was this strong, Dick. That's a group he's dragging down the field. Carrington hangs on.
Now the bigger guys come in to help out. A 24-yard play. First and goal. Anders to the goal line and down at the 1-yard line. And it took Leslie O'Neal coming from his end position to help out Harper to get Anders down at the 1-yard line.
Very simple play. This is just the smash mouth football. Straight ahead, you do see a fold block by the left guard, Zott. But, Dick, I'm telling you, they get the ball in the end zone here. 10 points on a day like this. Under this circumstances, that's a lot of points.
Anders again. Stopped on the 1-yard line as Stanley Richard got a hold of him first, and then the big guys inside made the tackle. Third and goal at the 1.
But that's what you got to like about San Diego. Young team. There's Arnsparger, the defensive coordinator. Young team. They don't give up on any play. They don't give in on any single play.
This is where normally John Alt would have been the blocker in that hole. Play action. No, Anders, touchdown. His first touchdown rushing this year.
I repeat, at home for the division, rainy, soft field, 10 points, a lot of points to overcome.
Dale Carter's fake and run on the punt return sets up the score. Elliott's try for point, and it is 10-0 Kansas City with just under 9 minutes left in the first half. Marcus Allen out, but Kimball Anders with a touchdown, his first career touchdown rushing. And it's 10-0.
Well, you like those 28-yard drives, Dick. You'll take all those you can get.
The 29-yard punt return by Dale Carter setting up that short drive. Elliott. His kickoff, a slider down low, taken by Ronnie Harmon. And Harmon out to the 31-yard line as we go back to the touchdown scored by Anders.
From behind the offense, beautiful job here by Zott. You're going to see the center block on the nose tackle. Zott comes around and pulls. Bennett leads, and Junior Seau overruns the play and allows Kimball Anders to run right in the end zone. This is beautifully done. Excellent blocking by the full block by Zott. And the timing again, watch Junior Seau, 55. That just happens to hit him shoulder to shoulder. Nicely done.
Well, the pressure now on the Chargers in the reign of Kansas City. Humphries play action to Means. Plenty of time. Throws the short pass to the tight end Shannon Mitchell, and for Mitchell, that is his first catch of the season, a free agent from the University of Georgia.
Well, he's going to have a big day now with Papunu hurt. Mitchell takes over as the H-back. Humphries is looking downfield. Mitchell is the outlet receiver. Eric Thomas gets him out, but San Diego's got to figure out who needs to be in the game here now.
Second down and 3. Boy, he draws a crowd on every carry, short of the first down by 1 as we go to New York.
All right, Dick, in Cincinnati, Jeff Blake continues to impress at quarterback for the Bengals. 21 yards and a touchdown to Carl Pickens. Blake, 6 of 8 for 65 yards, and that TD. Oilers and Bengals are tied at 10 in the second quarter, Dick.
All right, Greg. He was the AFC Offensive Player of the Week, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. In just his second start of his NFL career. Not bad.
Third down, 1. Means. And he's hit right at the line of scrimmage, and the mark is at the 41. It'll be very close to the first down. Looks to be a measurement. Well, the Kansas City Chief defense swarming, as obviously the plan all week is, though, look at that number 20 Natron Means, and let's get as many helmets as we can on him.
There's no question, if you can slow down Natron Means behind the line of scrimmage, you're going to accomplish a lot towards stopping him. But the thing about San Diego is they can't give up on Means. Even though Papunu, his personal attendant back there, is the H-back. First down, San Diego. They got to keep giving the ball to Means.
That's only the third San Diego first down. Means, Schottenheimer said, he's Earl Campbell.
I mean, he didn't hesitate to say that, did he?
It's not just the number either.
Yeah, I mean, he's Earl Campbell.
Yeah, he said he's the real number. Means who's 245 pounds but has such quick feet. Humphries, little check-off pass to Means, good for only a couple. That's his 4th catch.
They're doing a good job here of shutting down the primary receivers. I was speaking of Kansas City's defense, and Means is an outlet on an awful lot of these plays. So Kansas City's defense is doing an excellent job of if you're going to use him, you're going to use him up, not only as a runner but also as a receiver. Here's Means right here, with the outside receivers being well defensed.
2nd and 7. And it's testing the center of the line again, but not much there except the red shirts and a gain of a couple. Ronnie Harmon, one of his rare carries. He coming into the game had only 13 rushes on the season, but leads the team in catches with 32. So Bobby Ross obviously trying to mix it up, use him as a runner, not as a receiver.
Absolutely. Trying to just a little problem in the defensive machine of Kansas City. We don't always throw to Ronnie Harmon, but I'll bet they do here.
Harmon, the lone running back. Mark Say in motion. And not even close to Dwayne Young, who was covered by George Jameson as the corner on the blitz.
Yeah, and you know why he blitzed? To keep Ronnie Harmon in the backfield. Eliminate him as a receiver. You're going to see the blitz coming right now, and Harmon tries to go out. There he is, and he's got to jump back inside to get Mark Collins. Very smart. Their best receiver out of the backfield has to block.
Wagner's 5th punt of the game already, and this is not a very good one, although it takes a nice San Diego bounce and a gamble by Hughes, who is tackled inside the 15-yard line. Timeout, 5:45 left before the intermission. Welcome back to Arrowhead Stadium. Those bandages become thicker and thicker as the season wears,
especially for the veteran like Stan Brock. Now, Junior, he goes out there like a track athlete running the 200-meter dash.
Sale at 250, one of the brilliant linebackers in the NFL. From the 13, Montana comes out throwing on first down and hits his man. Eric Martin, the former New Orleans Saint. 13 yards on the play, his 7th catch.
We've just heard that Eric Davis, the receiver for Kansas City, has a sprained knee and probably won't return. So Martin is going to probably fill a big role here today. Excuse me, Willie Davis, 84.
So with J.J. Burton, he's been out several weeks now, starter, and Willie Davis injured. Marty Schottenheimer's hand is forced again, but the veteran Martin picked up after the season began, delivers. First down, they pick up the blitz, and slamming forward is Donnell Bennett, who has carried but 13 times all year, rookie 2nd-round pick from Miami of Florida.
And Dick, what Kansas City has done here in this first half has been absolutely beautiful. A different set of personnel on almost every snap. They've spread the ball around to a lot of different people, giving San Diego a whole bunch of different formations, a lot of motion. And San Diego's defense not settled in yet.
Anders and Hill are the new set of backs. 2nd and 6. And Hill with a flag down, dropped at the 30-yard line. The Chiefs, one of the heaviest penalized teams in the NFL, and they get a 10-yarder. They've averaged over 8.5 a game, Kansas City, on the year, and rank third.
61 offense, 10 yards, repeat 2nd down.
The Raiders have retired the trophy.
But I think for different Raiders, that's just their attitude. I think Kansas City's penalty numbers have increased because of the amount of passing that's increased. When they had the big backs here, Barry Word and Christian Okoye, it would just push them and shove them down the field. Now when you got to throw, you're going to have a few more holding penalties and penalties in general.
2nd and long for Montana. Down the middle. It's broken up. That was Dwayne Harper again flying. He's made 3 one-handed deflections just when it appeared the Chiefs had the ball and a good reception. Harper's made the play. And when we talked to Bobby Ross yesterday, he said number 28 Harper was one of the first names that came out of his mouth when he said who gets the A+ grades at midterm.
Well, we got to give an assist there to Joe Montana for that knocking the ball away. That was thrown. It slowed Martin down, allowed Harper to catch up. A good zone defensive back.
Played in Seattle out of South Carolina State and came over here in his 7th season as an unrestricted free agent to San Diego. 3rd and 16, a draw to Anders, and he slips down at the 26-yard line. 4th and 9, and the punting team on, and now a flag, and this could be a big mistake by San Diego. It was going to be 4th and 9, but if this is against the Chargers, a possible 1st down for Kansas City.
Dick, did you see anything happen on the sideline? I mean, the flag came out immediately. It was a heave on the sideline. It looks like it might have involved Ricky Siglar, 66, the offensive lineman of Kansas City, and Lonnie Young, 43.
Personal foul, 43, face mask on the San Diego Chargers, and we have a personal foul, unnecessary roughness on Kansas City. The number is unreported. The penalty's offset.
Oh, he reported as a eligible receiver. 66 was the penalty.
Here it is. There's the shove, and then Lonnie Young has a hold of the face mask of Ricky Siglar.
That's like getting thrown by a horse and hanging on to the reins.
Yeah, you got it.
Not letting go.
So San Diego very fortunate there.
Now they'll I guess after the play, so dead ball, so it's 4th down and 5 actually as Aguiar comes in to kick. Now I thought it was 4th and 9. Now they respot the ball back at the 26-yard line. Aguiar to punt, and Darian Gordon back at the 29. Line drive returnable. Gordon 36, 40, 45, 50. And Gordon to the 46-yard line in Kansas City territory. 39-yard punt, 18 on the return, and the Chargers' best field position of the half. Tonight, one of the most controversial motion pictures ever. Oscar winners Kevin Costner and Tommy Lee Jones had an all-star cast in the network television premiere of Oliver Stone's JFK. That's tonight at 9, 8 Central here on NBC, and a flag is down.
22 of the kickers while the ball was in the air. Penalties declined. 1st down.
Offsetting penalties. We didn't hear the first part, but we heard the second part. So it's offsetting penalties, and finally San Diego across the 50-yard line here.
Trailing 10-0 with 3.5 minutes remaining in the half. Battle for first place in the AFC West. Humphries on 1st down, fumbles, and Kansas City recovers at the 44. Neil Smith jarred the second sack. And Big Dan, who grew up in San Diego, going to take that one to his friends, I believe, down in the end zone.
Humphries holds this ball for a long time, Dick. A very long time. Allows Neil Smith to beat Stan Brock for the second time. And the George Brett swing from the right side.
He now leads the Chiefs with 9.5 sacks. And by the way, thanks for that sweet potato pie from New Orleans. Mama finally delivered. Hill to the 39. So the Chargers, that has to be a discouraged young team. This is the youngest team in the NFL, the San Diego Chargers, and Bobby Ross pointing out that they need to build on a good early start against Kansas City today. That has not happened. They fumbled 3 times. One didn't cost them. Fumble on the opening kickoff. One at the 30 by means did. And now they fumbled to lose field position. 10-0 Chiefs. Montana protected well again and just throws this one away. Flag down. Hardly a catchable ball. It was thrown away by Montana, and the receiver fell as the ball was landing 15 feet behind him. Let's see if they'll have another huddle.
Dick, Dwayne Harper is lobbing that not only was it uncatchable, they were both slipping and sliding all over the place. I'm not sure it was, well, Marty's going to lobby for it, but I'm not sure this was as much contact as it was just one of the players losing their footing. Montana late. There's the matchup up there. Goes out of the corner of the screen. But
no foul on the play. No contact occurred. Player slipped.
That's exactly what happened. That's an excellent call by the officials. Dawson goes out. He wants contact, and then see, they both kind of tie up their feet. Neither one of them's looking for the ball.
Well, Harper did give him a shove in the back, and that's why Dawson is angry.
But I think that's an excellent call. And it's also interesting on that play, Dawson kind of ran into Harper at the break.
3rd down and 5.5. And Montana's going to use a timeout. 2:51 left with the Chiefs in front, 10-0 in the half. And welcome back. Marty Schottenheimer's Chiefs trying to move into a first-place tie with the Chargers in the AFC West.
Dick, if they beat the Raiders last week, beat San Diego this week, that's 2 weeks they deserve to be tied for first place. These are 2 tough teams to beat.
Neil Smith harassing Humphries, a couple of sacks and 1 forced fumble for the All-Pro defensive end of Kansas City. This is a 3rd down and a long 5 at the 38 in San Diego territory. Montana over the middle, incomplete. That was Anders with Dennis Gibson right on him, and Anders knew he was going to get smacked. So on comes the punt team for the Chiefs.
Well, it hasn't looked pretty, but they've produced the 10 points. They've taken advantage of those situations where the offense has had the short field, a 28-yard drive for a score.
You pay the kickers their dollars for days like this, and Aguiar has delivered 46.5 average on 4 kicks in the wet. Gordon back at the 10. He pooches it, and Gordon fair catch at the 10-yard line. Here it's 10-0. Other developments in the NFL. Let's go to New York.
All right, Dick, at the vet in Philadelphia, the Eagles playing catch-up. Vaughn Hebron from 15 yards out. Nice blocking, nice running. The extra point cuts Cleveland's lead. It's now a 10-7 Browns lead as they approach halftime in Philly, Dick.
All right, thanks, Greg. Little drum major strut on the celebration. What was your end zone celebration when you scored all those touchdown passes as an all-pro tight end?
Well, after I scored the first one, I bounced it, and Paul Brown told me, act like you've been there, son. So there was no celebrating after that.
Humphries finds himself in familiar territory deep in his own end. Out of the backfield to Harmon. And Harmon out of bounds at the 15. It'll be 2nd and 5. Jay Taylor on the stop.
Kansas City playing total zone here. Latter stages of the first half. Keep every receiver underneath them. Make it very difficult for San Diego to get the big play.
Raining in Arrowhead Stadium, Kansas City, but the drought is with the San Diego offense. No touchdowns last week and losing to Atlanta 10-9. Nothing at all today. Over the middle, Harmon again, and that's enough for a first down, but a flag is down. It was thrown over where Jay Taylor was covering Sean Jefferson. Legal chuck against the defense. Chargers had the first down anyway.
Yeah, Dick, in these situations, defensive backs try to reroute receivers, and that's where that chuck comes in. That illegal chuck comes in.
Chargers have the choice of both a 5-yard gain or a 5-yard penalty, and probably give the 5 to Ronnie Harmon on the catch. Make it a 6-yard gain.
Illegal contact. Number 27, defense. Penalties decline. First down.
And they're trying to reroute the receiver outside. That's outside 5 yards. There's the penalty.
So Humphries fires this time. Incomplete. Open was Tony Martin. The ball right there at midfield. Incomplete. 2-minute timeout. Welcome back to Arrowhead in this battle for first place in the AFC West in Kansas City. They hold the Raiders last weekend to only 3 points. They've shut out San Diego. Thus far, your points well taken. If they keep this up, they belong in the top.
And the thing that's helped them the most today, Dick, is that defense has had the long field behind them. And San Diego's had lousy field position, and all defenses look good with 80 yards behind them.
Second down and 10 for Humphries. Over the middle, incomplete. Threw it behind Marseille. So the pass on first down seemed to be right on target to Martin, who dropped it, and this one a little behind. And you have to wonder that big, bulky brace on the left elbow, non-throwing arm of Humphries, how it bothers him. He did say, in terms of how he takes the ball up to throw, he has to keep it farther away from his body.
But knowing Stan Humphries, I don't think he'll use that as an excuse. This is just a lousy first half offensively for San Diego.
Chiefs hoping for a hold here and to get the ball back before the half. Oh, there's a tackle against Thomas and an interception by Kansas City. Mark Collins, his first as a Chief. Oh, field position again. The third turnover for the Chiefs in San Diego territory.
He plays it beautifully, too.
4 total turnovers, but 3 of them, one at the 40, one at the 30, this one at the 29.
This is going to happen at the top of the screen, and Mark Collins just breaks underneath Mark Say 82. I mean, Collins beats Say to the spot where the ball was thrown. And Dick, you're right again. I mean, first and 10 at your opponent's 29. This is a lovely day for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Greg Hill, the lone running back. And Hill with a call. And quickly to corral him, 92 David Griggs, the linebacker. San Diego's average start, Bob, has been at their own 25. Kansas City's average start in this first half almost at midfield, the 47.
And in big games, that is so much a key. And of course, with bad weather, I mean, that it just adds to it. When you're an offensive player, you go out there and you got 31 yards to score, and this is a day at the beach.
Second down and 13. Clock continues to run at 1:15. Montana out of the backfield, and it's Anders at the 28-yard line. Junior Seau traversing to make the hit along with Gordon.
Yeah, I think Kansas City may have just learned something there. When Kansas City emptied its backfield, Junior Seau goes with the coverage up the middle. A pass over the middle works as Joe takes the timeout.
That leaves him with 1 and 51 seconds to go at this first half.
Here's what I'm talking about. You see the backfield empty, no running back. Watch what happens with Junior Seau. Now, what you have to do is somehow get a tight end up here in the middle, but now that you've identified something, as Seau comes out of the middle, it's something that Kansas City might be able to just put in a memory bank and come back with. That may have been a message play there. We'll see what Kansas City does with it.
Seau having a sensational year, leads the team by a bunch, 95 tackles, 74 of them solos, has 5.5 sacks. And while he was reluctant to move from outside linebacker inside, when you asked him yesterday, do you think he'll ever go back outside? It's like he's locked in the house.
No, I'm in here. I'm in here. And he's a remarkable athlete because of the amount of yardage he can cover. I mean, he can drop 12 yards and still make a tackle at the line of scrimmage. There are a few linebackers who have ever played the game can do that.
And with the speed to go sideline to sideline, that's why he loves that middle. 3rd and 9. A lot of time for Montana. Underneath, he throws to Anders, tackled immediately at the 25. This is David Griggs making another stop.
Let's see, 25 and 17.
42-yard field goal looking at the Chiefs. We're going to let the clock run down and use as much as they can.
Yeah, Marty, you could just read his lips. Go for it. This is the knockout punch.
This could be. Marty loves to try to go for the draw him offside also here. 4th and less than 5. He indeed goes for it, and it's to the tight end Green. Tracy Green. His 5th catch of the year, and it's good enough for the first down. Seau over to make the stop.
He looks right and then comes back left to Tracy Green. Green is almost uncovered. Seau does finally catch him on the outside along with Dwayne Harper.
With 7 seconds left, they give Lynn Elliott a much easier shot at the field goal.
You can't really run another play here. 7 seconds is just about the limit.
Reminder that coming up, Domino's Pizza NFL Live halftime report with Greg Gumbel and Mike Ditka. They'll bring you up to date on the scores and the highlights from the early games around the league. And plus, are they hard hits or cheap shots? See for yourself as they take a closer look at this hard-hitting NFL season.
I can answer that question. They're hard hits unless they're on quarterbacks, and then they're cheap shots.
A lot of leading with a helmet, and I think that's one of the discussions, that the injuries, those concussions with a helmet right up under that chin strap. Collins' interception gives Elliott this shot at a 34-yard attempt. And the Chiefs capitalize again. San Diego turnovers, Kansas City points, and it's 13-0.
Well, there's 3 seconds left for this first half, and I'm sure Bobby Ross would prefer to just be heading into the locker room, so he has that full halftime complement to take some big bites out of some young men's butts.
And Robert Joseph Ross, the good news for him is that the Chargers turned it over 4 times and trailed by only 13.
Yes, that is the plus, but I mean, you can certainly spread around the blame in his first half. Lousy field position resulting from the turnovers and a very lackluster performance by this offense that has been high-powered, and this is one of the best teams there is in the NFL, not just the AFC, in the NFL, but they're certainly not playing like it today. Look at that.
Shut down Natron. And the Chargers came in tied with Green Bay with the best turnover marks in the league, a +10. But they're a -3, 4 times giving it up, and 1 takeaway in the half today, and only 67 total yards. Elliott will squib this one. And the Chargers batted around, and they half comes to an end as Vaughn Parker, a rookie from UCLA, finally recovered it. Kansas City, to the cheers of their crowd at the half, leading 13-0.
Welcome back to the Domino's Pizza NFL Live halftime report. A number of hard hits in recent weeks have resulted in concussions for several NFL quarterbacks and wide receivers, a development that is being closely watched by the league. The question is, have the hits been aggressive but legal, or are they the result of gratuitous violence? John Elway managed to avoid injury on that late hit. Not as fortunate was Troy Aikman, who suffered a concussion in successive weeks.
Once I came out of the game, was just going through a period where I just couldn't maintain any thought.
A week later, the Bengals' James Francis was fined $12,500 for a cheap shot on Aikman. It's not only quarterbacks going down, though. 4 more concussions last week, including Bears wide receiver Tom Waddle.
I've been hit as hard as that, in the past, so, it really won't affect me.
Also, Don Beebe of Buffalo hit head-on by the Jets' Bobby Houston, prompting charges of bounty hunting by Jim Kelly.
I'm not going to mention teams and names, but, yeah, I've definitely heard that teams have put money in a pot and say, okay, whoever knocks individuals out, that particular person gets money. I've heard that a couple times in the last couple weeks.
Despite that accusation, there are reminders in every NFL dressing room advising players to avoid tackling with the crown of the helmet to see what they hit.
We can create all the rules we want, but if the players don't have some ownership in the spirit and sportsmanship of our game, the rules are not going to work.
Mike, you and I have talked about this, and the feeling I get is that you think that everybody is overreacting just a little bit on this.
I think they are. I mean, a couple of the hits on the quarterbacks I agree with. I think you have to protect the quarterbacks, and I think they've put a lot of rules in to protect the quarterbacks. But there were some articles written about, legislating guys like Chuck Cecil out of the sport. In that case, if you legislate him out, you ought to get rid of guys like Ed Sprinkle, Doug Atkins, Dick Butkus, Ray Nitschke, Jack Lambert, Jack Tatum, Gary Fensick, Cliff Harris, and Ken Houston, because those guys played the game aggressively. I don't think that people are trying to hurt people out there, but I think you're taught to tackle a certain way, and you're taught to use your headgear some. I know it's hard to change. I know what the league is saying, and I agree with them, but these guys are not trying to hurt anybody. They're told to say, the receiver catches the ball, separate him from the ball. How do you do that? You make a hard hit.
All right, let's bring Joe Gibbs in. Joe, what are your thoughts on what's happening right now?
I think if somebody goes low on somebody, goes to the head, fine. But I think we've gone overboard, Greg, with the face mask and the helmet. We teach these guys to tackle like this, head up. And at the last second, what are you going to do? You're going to get a little dip in there because a guy is going to close his eyes and dip his head a little bit. I think we're going overboard with the face mask.
All right, Joe. One thing does seem clear. Despite some hefty fines, the late hits keep on coming. What can the NFL do about it?
I think that disciplinary action, number one, must be punitive, and number two, it must be a deterrent. And if it's not deterring the action, then you must increase your disciplinary action. So if fines aren't enough, then I think you go to the next step where you look at suspensions.
That's Gene Washington. What are the solutions in your thoughts, Joe?
Well, I think Gene's right on that. I think you got to keep escalating. These guys make a lot of money. If somebody does something like a late hit, going low, going to the head, then I think you need to fine him, and I think he's right. You need to step it up. It needs to be a healthy fine, or I think you go ahead and start suspending him.
Mike, do you want a player, though, that's out there thinking about a hit before he makes it?
No, it's got to be instinctive. Lombardi said that football is a collision sport. Don't take the collisions out of football.
All right, Mike. Our NFL Live halftime activities will continue.
Chiefs with a 13-0 lead will get the ball first to start the second half. Let's take a look at the Coors Light halftime statistics, and the numbers, while modest on both sides, favor the Chiefs. Only 7 first downs, but the 4 turnovers, and the turnovers led to the 13 points.
And I think you can come up with 119 yards and a half and score 13 points. That's pretty good. There are a lot of things that you want to do in a football game. One, you want to make sure that in big games you have good field position. You want to win the battle when it comes to the turnovers. Well, Kansas City, missing John Alt, missing Marcus Allen, have done a wonderful job of taking advantage of the miscues by San Diego. San Diego has made it easy for Kansas City in this first half. I don't know if San Diego can write it in the second.
Do you think there's any paint left on the wall of the San Diego locker room after Bobby Ross got through at halftime?
We have seen some of Bobby Ross's anger, his temper. And if there is a bulletin board or a blackboard to break in that locker room, it's in 1,000 pieces right now. And Boss Ross can get the point across to anybody. But unfortunately, Dick, on a young team, sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. I'm not sure Bobby Ross knows how his team is going to play in the second half, but I'll bet he got their attention at halftime.
Well, San Diego racked up 6 straight wins, then couldn't score a touchdown and lost at home to Denver, and then won at Seattle. Couldn't score a touchdown last week and losing at Atlanta. Second half underway, and Ron Dickerson bobbles the ball at the 10. Sometimes Humphries. That sets up a good return, and he gets it out across the 30-yard line. Steve Hendrickson made the tackle. Hannah Storm.
Well, Dick, as a team and to a man, the San Diego Chargers would not talk about what happened in the locker room at halftime, so we can only speculate, but I bet you guys are right on the mark. As for the Kansas City Chiefs, Marty Schottenheimer said if they can continue to run the ball, if they can protect the ball, he thinks they'll win this ball game because of the way the defense is playing. He warned his guys to take special care with punt protection and also the kicking game. He said they could trip up there. Field conditions are great down here, says Joe Montana. Back to you.
All right, Hannah. Montana starts just across his own 30. Gives to Hill. Actually, the Chiefs have not run the ball all that effectively. The Chargers have stopped that part of the game, but a short field in which to work for Montana. There are the comparisons of the throwers. 2-1 favor Montana, each with an intercept. Hill, by the way, the rookie who has replaced Marcus Allen as the running halfback, has carried 6 times for only 6 yards.
This opening drive of the second half important for both teams. Either San Diego gets back in it or Kansas City takes firm control of this game.
Montana with a blitz on and almost intercepted, and that would have been a touchdown for Darren Carrington. So they put some pressure on, something they didn't do much of in the first half. Try to blitz Montana, and Carrington had 6 in his fingertips.
Junior Seau puts the pressure up the middle. Nobody touches him if he doesn't slip. And then Carrington almost comes up with a pick. I mean, that's the difference between getting back in this game and things remain the same. That's a play you must make. It's easy to say up here, but that's what the coaches are going to say on Monday or Tuesday when they look at the film.
Incomplete. That one intended on the quick lookie over the middle to the veteran Eric Martin, and well covered by San Diego. So 3 and out for Kansas City.
And that is a huge plus. Again, it's zoned by San Diego. Again, Harper does an excellent job of closing on the football. So the Charger defense has done its job. Give the Charger offense as much time in his second half to get back in the game as they can.
Aguiar to punt to Gordon, back at the 25 for San Diego. Chargers were in Kansas City's half of the field only once and fumbled on the first play. High short kick. Gordon comes up to field at the 35-yard line, and with it a timeout. 14:06 left in the third. So the Kansas and Missouri Rivers on a rainy day in the Midwest. Stan Humphries' first chance second half starts from the 35. Goes on top long and has a man there and drops again. Sean Jefferson. That's 2 long passes that have been on the money for San Diego, but receivers unable to pull them in.
Again, a tight coverage by Collins, but you can see how Jefferson has more speed. He's looking back at the ball, and the veteran Collins, but that went right through his hands. And there was no contact there. That ball should have been caught. Well,
he did have his hand in there a little bit. Yep.
Collins got lucky. Just put it in the right spot.
The H-back Mitchell into the flat, and Humphries throws to him, and he can't wiggle free. Good job done by Dale Carter, the right corner, to hang on to the rookie Mitchell, 6'2" and 245.
But see, Dick, this opening drive here, up 13-0. Basically, Natron Means not a factor in this opening drive, and he is their best weapon all around. Natron Means.
Steve Hendrickson comes into the offensive huddle. Brockhead,
probably a lead blocker.
With Means, and timeout called by Kansas City's defense. Perhaps not at the right personnel on the field. Continues to rain. 13-0 Kansas City. A 3rd down 3 for San Diego at their own 43-yard line. Derek Thomas zeroing in on quarterback Stan Humphries. He has no sacks today. His counterpart Neil Smith has 2. Open is Mitchell, but the pass thrown too tall as Humphries had to unload under pressure. George Jameson was in on the quarterback of the Chargers, who have yet to complete a pass today to a wide receiver.
Oh, they come with a double blitz. You see Tracy Simeon 54 up the middle, 57 Jameson to the outside. Not thrown well at all by Stan Humphries. Good coverage also by the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Chargers must punt one more.
6th time for Brian Wagner, and another timeout by Kansas City. That's 2 they've spent in this second half, and we've played just over a minute and a half. San Diego sidelines, and they're looking at that left elbow of Stan Humphries.
He did tell us he still has some pain in the elbow, and he was hit pretty hard on that last blitz. Told us he couldn't straighten out his arm. You know, big old brace on that thing, but he's looking for the spot where it hurts, trying to convince the trainer.
Kansas City spending 2 quick timeouts here in the second half. Brian Wagner kicks it toward Danon Hughes, and he lets it roll, and it takes a San Diego bounce inside the 10. Andre Coleman downs it, a 49-yard punt, and Gail Gilbert, who started last week in Atlanta and played creditably, although unable to get in the end zone. There's his numbers. Played well enough, according to Bobby Ross, that we should have won the game.
Yeah, it was not totally his fault. He made the passes, but now San Diego fans, I think if they untape that brace, then Humphries is out of the game.
First down, Montana, deep in his own end of the field, and Montana throwing. Good protection, and he dumps it to Anders. Up to the 15-yard line, a gain of 7. Dennis Gibson making the stop.
Dick, have we seen the whole offensive package here by Kansas City today? I mean, if you don't have Marcus Allen, what else can we do? Well, we've seen Joe Montana roll, seen him sprint a little bit. We've seen him throw back. I mean, that one caught the middle of it, not the end of it. Nevertheless, it counts.
That one wasn't exactly spinning in there, was it?
No.
But it got the job done. Sale picked up on the blitz, and that is Hill about to break into the secondary and drag down first down at the 22.
Boy, they can be very patient here. This is not a blitz defense. But Junior Seau and Bill Arnspark are trying to create something here. Excellent blocking. It's Grunhard 61 on Junior Seau 55, and Hill.
That is an all-pro play.
Absolutely.
He's run in, blocked out of the blitz, and still able to maneuver over and make the tackle after a gain of 5.
Kind of redefines the position.
Montana almost intercepted and then taken away. Danon Hughes just stole it from Gordon.
Dick, it looked like Gordon had one hand on Danon Hughes' arm. See what happens here. Outside release, he slips and he makes the curl. Yeah, see, their arms were intertwined. That's great strength showed by Danon Hughes there to get his arm back there to make the reception.
Hughes with only 2 catches all season prior to today. And Montana on first down is 7 for 7 in the game. Anders tripped up in the backfield and submarining through, guess who? Seau.
Well, San Diego's got to come with their blitz package here. They need a turnover, and Junior Seau's the quickest guy they got on their defense. They got to get somebody across the line of scrimmage to disrupt the handoff. Anders sees it coming, protects himself, protects the football. Yeah.
Seau said that the difference between this team and the others I've played with in San Diego is we're young, but we're accountable. We're mature. He feels we're not just playing to see who might make a mistake or not make a mistake. Fake to Hill, and Montana going over here. No one broke off the pattern as Chris Penn, the rookie, went deep on the sideline.
That's rare for Montana to yell at a receiver. Montana does not like to do that, and I think you're right. Chris Penn ran the wrong pattern. He looks back, then he looks at the outlet. And Joe doesn't normally, you don't see him do that very often. He hates to tell players what to do with the offense, but
that was that receiver driving the back deep and then coming back, that Boletnikoff pattern, but Penn kept going, and Montana had to taste Chris Mims. 3rd and 13, they go to draw to Anders, and he's wrapped up after a short yardage at the 33. Fans don't like it, but this is part of the the weather dictating and the fact you've got injuries, and Marty, a no-risk offense.
Absolutely. Take no chances. Don't put it up where the ball can be tipped or anything like that.
So another punt. We've had this will be the 12th in the game.
Only
6 aside.
Seems like more.
Gordon at the other end as Aguiar sets up. Gordon at the 26.
It's going left. It's going left.
Beautiful kick. Yeah, he's done a good job. Backpedaling is Gordon to the 16. 20. And the ex-Stanford star to the 27-yard line. 51-yard punt by Aguiar. And a timeout at the 9:48 mark in the third. Stan Humphries with that big bulky brace on the left elbow, and what's really bothering us that light cloth on the right elbow.
Well, he's ready now.
At the 28-yard line. Means first carry of the second half, and he nets only 2, maybe 3. When we talked with Ross about the rest of the year, he said that the key was for his team to get more production out of the wide receivers.
Yes.
Of course, when you go back to the start of the year, the loss of Anthony Miller to Denver, and all 5 wide receivers had not started an NFL game prior to this year, and they haven't caught a pass today. So that's the bad sign for Ross and the Chargers. Wide receivers. Means looking for a hole. He had one, but caught from behind. That was a very big tackle by Neil Smith, because Means was about to put it in overdrive.
And Dick, this is why those wide receivers, here's Neil Smith, this is why those wide receivers are so important, because anything they can do can alleviate the pressure from Natron Means. I mean, that is a pure pass rush by Neil Smith. Heading up the field, he's not worried about the run. He's not threatened by the wide receivers, and it puts more pressure on the running game.
Means with a total of 40 yards today. And a juggling catch made by Mark Say. There's the first reception by a Charger wide receiver. 11 yards on the play and a first down at the 45.
Kansas City in the blitz. Humphries does a good job. You're going to see the pressure put on 57 Jamison, 24 Doug Terry. A double catch by Mark Say, and Carter tries to knock the ball away. Carter's shot right up in the nose.
Only the 5th first down for San Diego, and Means gets a yard on first down. So Natron Means, who grew up in Concord, North Carolina, Harrisburg, North Carolina, suburb of Charlotte. He's got, remember when he first came in, there was an expression that kind of caught in our memory bank. A lot of wiggle for a big man.
Yeah, a lot of wiggle for a big man. That's right. He's handled this very well, too. His first year as a starter, they get rid of Butts, they get rid of Bernstein. He's handled all this attention very, very well.
Only 22.
Blitz.
And the throw incomplete.
Right. What Kansas City has done here is just change the personality of the San Diego Chargers. This is not what they do offensively. Again, look at the blitz. Here's Tracy Simeon. He's going to blitz. Again, the pressure on Stan Humphries. They also get 57 Jamison. I mean, Kansas City's taken an awful lot of chances here defensively, but they've changed the personality of that San Diego offense.
So at the start today, we thought that with Means and the weather, it would play into Chargers' hands. Not so.
No, the turnovers changed everything in this game.
3rd and long. Good protection and a man open. First down at the 40, and that's the deepest penetration by San Diego today. Charles Mincy made the tackle, and Tony Martin has his first catch of the afternoon.
Good pass protection. Starts with good pass protection. The pattern inside again. This is total zone by Kansas City. Just a little hookup inside all the coverage. Humphries got that strong arm. And Neil Smith is on the sideline. Don't know what's wrong with him, but took himself out of the game.
Under 7 minutes left in the third, and Means hit in the backfield, breaks the tackle, and gets back to the line of scrimmage. Derek Thomas had him for a loss.
I would suggest that on any play, you're going to have to block this guy. Now, he goes in the walk-away situation, which is out away from the offensive line. But see, 89, Shannon Mitchell, who is replacing Alfred Papunu, out with the bad knee, doesn't even lay a glove on Derek Thomas, and Derek will make most of those tackles when you don't block him.
Meanwhile, Neil Smith, you can see in pain, holding his left wrist. 2nd and 10. Humphries underneath. His receiver had fallen, and Dwayne Young feels that there should be a flag, and now very late, here comes one.
That's on Tracy Simeon, the man in coverage. See if we can see the contact. Watch 54, and see it just fires right into him. Knocks Dwayne Young down, and you're right, the flag was late, but it was also correctly thrown.
We'll see if it counts. However, there's another huddle.
There is no foul on the play. Contact occurred within the 5-yard zone. 3rd down.
A legal chuck inside 5 yards is the call.
The ball was snapped here. Here's 5 yards. Here's the receiver. Let's see where the contact does in fact take place. Yeah, it's inside 5 yards. Right. I mean, how did Tracy Simeon know that? He was taking a chance, but this time it worked.
3rd down and 10. He goes long for Jefferson and just misconnects. He was a half step short.
Lay out. I mean, go airborne. Give it a shot, pal. We're not going to get many chances. Things aren't working our way today. You may not be able to stride into the end zone, but maybe horizontally you can make the catch.
Junior Seau, an interested fan and hoping to get some help offensively, and instead watches the punting team go back out. Wagner, very high kick. Chargers down to try to down it, and they may get a penalty on that. Yes, they will. Danon Hughes did not vacate the area. He has the right to be able to make a clean play. And what's Simeon doing out there?
With his helmet off.
That doesn't make any sense at all, does it? Hughes run into by one of the Charger defenders, and they're acting as though they recovered a fumble.
Hughes does signal.
Fair catch.
He just kind of is look. He's trying to make the fair catch. Wait a minute. Why isn't? Oh, it bounces right back to what a lucky recovery. This is definitely Kansas City's home field with that one.
Interference with the opportunity to make a catch. 34 on the kicking team. 15 yards. 1st down.
Well, instead of inside the 5-yard line, the Chargers special teams perhaps trying to do too much, spurred by their coach Boss Ross and Hendrickson, who is a fiery character at best. That was just bad luck.
Sure.
The wind took the ball right into him.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He's watching the football, as is Danon Hughes. Hendrickson should come from.
Well, actually, Hendrickson isn't in there. That's right.
Yeah, it's 83.
Andre Coleman. So they start from the 20-yard line. Seau on another blitz, so Hill goes outside. 1st down and more. 17 yards on the play. Harper bumps him out of bounds.
That's the chance San Diego's now taking. This is a very structured defense. When they blitz, it's their alternative defense. Seau up the middle. That cuts down a lot of the pursuit. Hill able to get outside. But they got to take the chance. You have to try to disrupt the offense, come up with the ball somehow.
Stanley Richard, the man to apply the heavy hit after Hill hit the sidelines. Fake to Anders, throw to Hill. A little bend with that limbo shot there. Under the bar to the 40.
Feet slipped out from underneath him again. Good play action fake to Anders. We have seen the total offensive package from Kansas City. Whoa! You know how much leg strength that means? You and I, if we did that, we'd be in surgery tomorrow.
Dislocate everything.
Keeps his feet. It's inside Griggs. Nice pickup.
A gain of about 2, but 9.5 in difficult. Into the flat, and Montana almost had one of those picked off to start this half. That one seemed to slip out of his hands. Lake Dawson was the target.
Slipped or was tipped by Junior Seau, who was again on the blitz, Dick.
3rd down and 7.
Let's see if Junior Seau does make contact. Nope, you're right. It slipped out of his hand. Yeah. You called it.
Danon Hughes and Dawson and Eric Martin, 3 wide receivers to the right. They flood, and it's Hughes underneath. Breaks the tackle. First down to the San Diego 46.
Breaks a tackle by Junior Seau, Dick.
Danon Hughes another catch.
Again, even with the zone, watch Junior Seau, the underneath pattern to Danon Hughes. Whoops. The little spin move, and Junior, who rarely misses a tackle, misses that one.
And for Danon Hughes, 2 catches in the first 9 games this year, 3 today, filling for the injured J.J. Burton, and then Willie Davis was hurt early in the game today. This is Donnell Bennett getting a taste of the Charger defense after a 2-yard gain. 76,997 sold out here at Arrowhead Stadium in the rain, and they're here to cheer the Chiefs. Beautiful colors brought out by the weather. Usually all red, and with slickers you get some variety.
Yes. These Midwesterners, they can handle the rain. This is no big deal.
Montana keeps going long. And the coverage by Harper, who backed into Martin there and didn't allow Martin to get into his pattern. 3rd down.
That was just a little loosen up the defense kind of play there. You know, we'll still throw it deep, Joe's saying. Paul Hackett's saying, don't get too many guys out there at the line of scrimmage. We'll try to get one by you. They have, Dick, they have been in control of this game, haven't they? Seldom do you see a team control a game as much with the turnovers they got and were given, however you want to look at it.
13-0 Kansas City. Montana now has hit half of his 28 passes. Blitz on, and he dumps it off, and almost intercepted by Carrington. I believe the ball hit the ground. Carrington, who almost had a touchdown with an interception earlier, trapped that one.
He was right there. Excellent job by Carrington to read what's happening. Again, you see Seau on the blitz.
No, that was Sean Lee that got in there.
Yeah, and Seau on the blitz, and Carrington just about comes up with it. They're trying their darndest to come up with some kind of a turnover.
Oh, in comes Aguiar to punt again. Gordon back at the 10. Oh, the field position, however, San Diego had Kansas City inside the 5, but the penalty, and then a couple of Montana passes run by Hill. High, fair catch, Gordon. Whoa, hit it. It's a live ball, and Gordon has to pay the price for it, but holds on at the 10. Almost another Charger miscue. Timeout. Not raining as hard as at other times during the course of this game, but a slick sod, and the Chargers back inside their 15 at the 11-yard line. Report from the Chiefs sidelines, Neil Smith, a left elbow injury and questionable return. He won't be back now, we understand. Humphries off play action, buys some time, and drills one complete to the 26-yard line. Mark Say with a catch. Say, who came in with 29 on the year and 4 touchdowns to lead the receiving corps.
Just runs the in route, comes back for the football. Plenty of time for Humphries to make the completion, but they need a lot of those here in short order.
2:40 left in the 3rd period. 13-0 Chiefs. Humphries. And Sean Jefferson was ripped to the side by veteran Mark Collins after a gain of about 7. Greg Gumbel has a report.
All right, Dick, at Cincinnati, the Oilers have lost running back Gary Brown to a leg contusion, so on comes Lorenzo White, 17 yards and a touchdown to break the tie. Most points the Oilers have scored this season. They lead the Bengals 24-17 in the third, Dick.
Well, Lorenzo White, George Perlis, I'm sure, watching today and cheering for his Michigan State player, Natron Amines. And we've seen that all day. The Chiefs have just taken away the center for the running game of San Diego. Means with only 41 yards rushing.
And we haven't mentioned their names much, but we should. The middle of Joe Phillips, of Sally Amua. They have done an excellent job against a very strong run. Aaron Mickle, we've got Neil Smith out, and Pelham McDaniels is in at the other defensive end.
Third, it's a long one. Means, look at the traffic he draws, loses 2.
Well, Dick, I'm struck by a comment that Junior Seau made to us last evening. He said, we've matured, we know how to handle a loss. Well, how about 3 losses in their last 4 games? How do they handle that? His team was totally in control of the AFC West a month ago.
And the offense after the first 6 games has become dormant. Almost blocked. And a flag down, running into the kicker. At the other end, it's Hughes down at the 26-yard line, and another flag down, and another. Ron Dickerson was the man trying to block the punt. 42-yard kick by Wagner. He's okay. This will be an interesting assortment of calls. Not necessarily all on Kansas City. Both teams have more punting yards than anything else today, as one might expect. San Diego with 305, and Kansas City leads there too with 331.
Well, not the stats you want to lead in.
Dickerson getting a little extra lecture from the headmaster Schottenheimer. Now the decision.
Illegal block on the return, number 27 against the receiving team. Penalties decline. Personal foul, roughing the kicker, number 23 against the receivers. 15 yards, first down.
That's a big call, not running into the kicker, but roughing the kicker. That carries the 15-yard penalty.
And you know what Marty Schottenheimer is telling Dickerson? How many times do we practice, son? You go for about 4 or 5 yards out in front of the punter. And then, of course, the other factor is all punters are great actors.
Yeah, he did a good. Wagner did a good job there.
Yes, he did.
Maybe not an Emmy, but he's in the finals. He gets a nomination and a very big penalty. The Chargers desperately need to maintain possession in the final seconds of the third quarter. Gives them a first down at their 48. San Diego has not been inside the Kansas City 40 all day. Off the pump fake, Jefferson has it. It'll be a touchdown, San Diego. Sean Jefferson.
Oh, it got quiet in here, Dick. They have been trying all day to get this play. They have tried several times on Mark Collins. Again, Jefferson a lot faster. Collins not really a good coverage cornerback. Great tackler. But that time Stan Humphries with good time. He got the free safety to go to the left side of the field, and Jefferson was isolated out there with Mark Collins.
The pump fake set it up. And the 52-yard. It's been a big play team, the Chargers, to get themselves in position to lead the West. Now Carney set another outstanding season for the extra point. Had 21 in a row. Field goal snapped last week. Hits the extra point. 13-7. It becomes a totally different game on one big strike by Stan Humphries to Sean Jefferson. Jefferson's second touchdown reception of the year.
See Humphries? He's influencing the free safety there. Mickle, 92, right in his chest. Thrown beautifully. Jefferson makes the adjustment. Mark Collins can't really do much about it, and it all comes from Ron Dickerson running into the kicker. Little acting job by the punter, and the drive extended, and Marty said, hey, look, see?
Now that was before the touchdown.
Yes.
Marty not knowing that it would hit the Chiefs with a full 7. And new life on the San Diego sidelines with 30 seconds left in the third period. And considering all the missed connections by the San Diego offense today, was that a wonderful looking throw
Absolutely.
from Humphries being hit as he released it. There's some of the big thunder and lightning on the season for San Diego. Martin, that 99-yard catch against Seattle. Stanley Richard, a 99-yard interception return against Denver. Gordon, a 90-yard punt return against the Raiders. Richard with another interception, 73. Say 49, Jefferson 47, and that's the longest touchdown reception for San Diego, 52 yards.
And Dick, isn't that just the second time that San Diego has been across the 50-yard line today?
Third time.
Third time?
But it started on the other side of the field.
But still, they're across the... You got to get on the other side before you can score, I guess.
Now Kearney to kick it off. And the Chiefs know there's a new pressure with a full quarter to go. Dickerson trying to make amends, has trouble fielding the ball, and is down at the 20-yard line with 21 seconds. Hill and Anders in the backfield with Montana at the 20. And Hill gets a yard on what will probably be the final action of this third quarter. Junior Seau right in the middle of another tackle.
Well, now I think if you're San Diego, you stop blitzing. Play a little more conservative again, Dick.
And we'll return after these messages from your local station. Chargers with their first touchdown in 7 quarters, back in the game as we open the fourth period. Dick Enberg with Bob Trumpy and Hannah Storm. Second down 9, Montana at his 21. Montana's uniform almost clean, and now he goes down for the first time. The sack by 91 Leslie O'Neal, the Charger leader. He has 8.5 now on the year.
Finally, something to fire up this San Diego football team. That catch by Sean Jefferson. O'Neal is on Graham. Derek Graham splits his hands, goes around him. Joe held onto the ball quite a while there. He was going downfield, but what does that help San Diego's chances now if they can let the field position work for them as opposed to against them as it has all day.
4-time Pro Bowler Leslie O'Neal, who is the all-time sack leader in Charger history with 89. Third and long for Montana. Going to throw from his own 5. Gets out of trouble. Not now. Ran back into the Chargers, and 97 John Perella, former Buffalo Bill, has his first sack as a Charger.
Chargers came with the extra defensive backs. Excellent coverage down the field. And there was no one for Joe Montana to throw the ball to. Watch them all drop. Just a 4-man rush. Not a lot of pressure here, but Joe he has one receiver slip down. And then Perella gets up off the ground and makes the sack. Joe's going backwards there when the sack is made.
Now Aguiar from his own end zone, and he sends another fantastic spiral all the way to the 39. Gordon 45-50 has some room now and gets to the 35 of Kansas City. And how this game is turned around on one lightning bolt by Humphries. When we left you, the Chargers had it at the 35-yard line. They are now back at their own 23, a 42-yard penalty.
2 players go out of bounds. It's illegal to go out of bounds and block a player.
Rodney Harrison, a rookie for the Chargers, was guilty of doing just that. And instead of Gordon returning all the way to the Kansas 35, Harrison gets 15 yards on the personal foul, and it's marked off from where Gordon caught the ball.
Harrison may fly back to San Diego on a prop plane. The rest of the team is on a jet. That's the kind of mistakes that Bobby Ross, he says, I allow honest play mistakes. That was stupid.
They mark it pretty carefully out of bounds. Yes, you got to be able to see that big white strip.
Ask Marty Schottenheimer. He gets involved with things out of bounds, doesn't he?
Yeah, he got the attention of Mr. Tagliabue, didn't he, up in Buffalo? So at the 23-yard line, Schottenheimer and the Chiefs with a terrific break on the penalty. They've been struck with a long touchdown bomb. Chargers had the ball at the 35 with momentum. Now they start at their 23. Humphries over the middle. Say hit immediately at the 29. Tracy Simeon.
Dick down 13-7. 13:50 to go in the fourth quarter. We go back to the entire game plan here for San Diego. Means is an option. Throw the ball conservatively. Don't do anything stupid. Try to hang on to it.
Bobby Ross working that sidelines as hard as he ever has in his 3 years in San Diego. Means plowing to what appears to be a first down at the 34. Now they're going to mark it closer to the 33.
He was tackled by Derek Thomas and Tracy Simeon.
And Ralph Friedgen, the offensive coordinator, I think he's well aware of the situation now. A touchdown and an extra point back in the game. Thank you, Ron Dickerson from Kansas City, for running into the punter. And they have life.
And the Chiefs in turn send a thank you card to Rodney Harrison of the Chargers. Off play action. Humphries drilled, stays on his feet, and completes the pass to Means. It's good for only 2 yards, but it saves about a 6-yard loss.
What a play. Joe Phillips, I believe, was the guy who spins Stan Humphries around. Play action fake. He's looking for somebody to throw to. Yeah, Joe Phillips, 75, runs right into him. McDaniels, how did he make the catch? Goodness. Or can you see a little better attitude now, San Diego?
That's 5 in a row completed by Humphries. That one for 3 yards. To Means. First down, and he just punishes those defensive backs out to the 48-yard line. A dozen more for the Chargers.
Nice block by Tony Martin out in front of Natron Means. It's going to be coming to the left-hand side of the screen. Humphries looking downfield. Means is the outlet receiver. Phillips, 75, at the feet of the quarterback. But watch the block by Martin. He hits Tracy Simeon, and Means will run around you. He'll run over you, and occasionally he tries to run right through you.
6 catches, 26 yards for Means. 15 rushes, only 43 yards for Natron, who led the AFC coming in. Whoa. Right into the midst of Tony Martin, but Dale Carter was there as well.
Yeah, not thrown well by Stan Humphries. On a hitch, you do not want the ball to be leading the receiver. Now watch where he's got to reach to grab a hold of this. So he leans right into the defender. You want it right between the 8 and the 1, so he doesn't have to reach up for it.
Ronnie Harmon is in. Harmon on a draw. But the Chiefs have just shut down the San Diego running game. Remember, San Diego, #1 in the league coming into this game, rushing the football. The Chiefs have done a stellar job of checking the Chargers. A total of only 48 yards in the game.
44 by Natron Means. That last carry by Ronnie Harmon, he did not look like a running back. He looked like a wide receiver. He hesitated a little too long.
Harmon, they break huddle late and send Harmon out to the left. And look at the Chiefs scramble. And they throw to Harmon down the sidelines. Incomplete. And a flag is down. Now that was interesting. They broke huddle with the offensive line out first, and at the last minute the backs and receivers came out in a quick snap, and what they tried to do is get Harmon isolated out there on the linebacker.
Yes, they had Means in the backfield with Ronnie Harmon, and it almost worked, and it did get Kansas City offsides. Here's
offside, 58 defense, 5 yards, repeat third down.
This is Natron Means. This is Ronnie Harmon. You can see the confusion out here, although Humphries goes back and is only looking to Ronnie Harmon. There was more confusion over here, but they do get 5 yards on the penalty, so it keeps the drive alive.
Derek Thomas charging prematurely. 3rd and 4. Humphries on top, going for Jefferson, who's just being pushed around, and no flag. Mark Collins rode him, hand-checked him all the way down the sidelines, and no flag. I think that Jefferson thought there was going to be a flag as he just had no chance. Collins riding him, so he slowed up and didn't go for the ball.
He did slow up.
So they may have ruled not catchable because Jefferson didn't continue the pattern. But Collins, way beyond the 5 yards, was all over him. All over him. All over him. That's 22 yards downfield. So the punt. And Dana Hughes backs off, and the Chargers down it at the 12-yard line. 10.5 to go. 13-7 KC.
Back to the last play. Here's Sean Jefferson and Mark Collins, and you can see this hand fighting that's going down the field here. There's one chuck.
That was legal, but now he rides it.
Yeah, but then by then the ball is in the air and it lands a good 50. I don't know why they didn't throw the flag, but I also don't know why Sean Jefferson let up there. Keep running.
Well, that was a disastrous sequence for the Chargers, who had a first down at the Chief 35 and lost that on the penalty. Incomplete. Over the middle, Derek Walker, the tight end, and Junior Seau was there, and Dennis Gibson picked up the ball.
Leslie O'Neal with good pressure there around the outside of Graham. Derek Graham, 74. They need a sack. They need, again, a short field for their offense. O'Neal, 91. This guy's not big. Great strength for a guy his size.
Dana reaching that right hamstring.
Taking inventory at his age. Make sure everything's attached.
That's the truth. Almost caught by Dana Hughes in heavy traffic. It'll be 3rd and 10.
This is just a little slant run by Dana Hughes. Again, the zone all day long.
Just to for those that are joining us late, a reminder: Marcus Allen not in uniform, injured knee. John Alt, bad back, not in uniform. So 2 starters, and then very early in the game, Willie Davis, the #1 receiver for Montana, another starter, out for the rest of the game. That's 3 of the 11 offensive starters not playing. So Montana working with a makeshift crew, and this one incomplete. So that's a very quick 3 and out, and 5 straight incompletes for Super Joe.
Now you also add to the list of injuries, they're playing without J.J. Burton. They're playing without Keith Cash, their tight end, who was hurt in the first San Diego game.
And Neil Smith in the second half went out.
And Neil Smith in the second half. So there have been some injuries, but at this point in the season, it affects everybody.
They still lead 13-7, but there, the fans say, I love the punt play. The punt, and is this a day for those of you who love punts? Another Aguiar. Never seen him kick any better. Gordon all the way back to the 35. Looking for a block, and there's none there, and he's out to the 45-yard line. 51 yards for Aguiar. 9 on the return. Timeout. World's greatest golfers to follow. And here at Kansas City, fan spirits high, although their lead reduced to 13-7 in San Diego. We'll start from the 44-yard line with 10:05 left. Now that last exchange of punts, Kansas City, including the punt, had the ball only 25 seconds. A reverse to Martin, didn't fool. Nickel fumbles the ball, just threw it out of his hands, and Kansas City then fumbles, and the Chargers get it back at the 31-yard line. Curtis Whitley, the center, replacing Courtney Hall, and Tony Martin just threw the ball toward Kansas City.
Why? Why the reverse?
Oh, I sure didn't fool Darren Nickel, did it?
No, not at all. Carrying it in his left hand, and you're right, it just bounces right off of his chest, and then Nickel missed a great opportunity. All he's going to do is fall on the ball.
It becomes a 13-yard loss. 2nd and 23. Tough field for Razzle Dazzle. Another fumble, and Humphries recovers this. Here's the team that has fumbled less than anyone in the league, and today a rash of them, and Bobby Beathard, the general manager, agonizing.
So they run 2 plays and lose 16 yards. Do I get that right? Not particularly productive.
Beathard has done a remarkable job of putting this team back in place. They were picked to finish last by every so-called expert. And here they are. We'll have at least a sheriff first, but they're looking for a 2-game lead. Humphries to Ronnie Harmon. And he gets to the 38-yard line.
Oh, Dick.
And here comes the punting team.
And Dick, that choice to try to run a reverse in that spot, I mean, as a coach and a coaching staff, you don't ever want to be a part in a loss. But, I mean, Ralph Regan has called a great game. Why he called that one there is beyond me.
Well, and why Tony Martin fumbled is what Ralph was saying. Well, it didn't help at all.
But if he hangs onto the ball, he's still going to lose 8 or 10 yards.
No, he wouldn't have lose that much.
How about 5?
Okay.
Would he have lost yardage?
Yes, he would have.
Okay.
And again, a fine punt under the conditions. Damon Hughes inside his 10. And out to the 16-yard line. 52-yard kick by Brian Wagner. And a reminder tonight, one of the controversial motion pictures of these last decades, JFK and the Talent Supreme. Oscar winners Kevin Costner, Tommy Lee Jones. It's an all-star cast, and it's the network television premiere of Oliver Stone's JFK tonight at 9, 8 Central here on NBC.
How about Donald Sutherland?
That's right. Goes on and on.
Don't leave him out.
That is the Pro Bowl. With a 13-7 lead, Montana at his own 17-yard line. Fake to Hill. Montana throws incomplete. Intercepted by Darren Carrington on the carry. Here comes Carrington with blockers at the 15. And Hill gets him out of bounds at the 8. Darren Carrington, you saw the graphic earlier. He's been the top pass theft for the Chargers in the 90s. And he has his 3rd now of this season.
Dick, you're going to see Joe Montana get greedy. Watch Dawson come across. Anders is in front. Throws it behind Dawson. Carrington in the right spot. The patient defense of San Diego. Now it goes back to that one play. That Bruce Dickerson play. It's given San Diego all kinds of incentive.
Run, says John Perella. Run!
Run faster.
First time San Diego in the red zone today. Carrington's interception. Chargers with a chance for the lead. Means tripped up after a yard gain. And how many times today have we said that? Natron Means, 1-yard play. Darren Mickle stuffed the run.
Boy, has Marty Schottenheimer seen this game change on one play?
Now the Chargers are second poorest in converting inside the 20 into touchdowns. Now we might add they've kicked field goals in almost every other opportunity, but they haven't gotten the big 7. That's what they need for the lead.
Yeah, no field goals here.
Means. And again, just short yardage to the 6 where it'll be 3rd and goal. Dale Carter up to knife him down.
Dick, I don't even think they can contemplate a field goal here. 7-13, as difficult as it's been for them to get the ball up and down the field. I mean, they got to try everything they can here to make that 4th down and short, which I would bet that they go for.
Marty Schottenheimer figures it's pass, sends in 3 extra defensive backs. Simeon Whitmore and Sally Amua come out. Harmon, the lone running back. Wide open, touchdown to the tight end, Dwayne Young. It's tied at 13.
Unbelievable. Dick, absolutely amazing.
Dwayne Young, who has a career-high 10th catch of the season, his first touchdown of the season.
It took forever for this play to develop, but he was totally uncovered.
5-yard touchdown play to the former Michigan State star. They kid him about his big dentures, saber-toothed catfish, or what his teammates call him. Sunk his teeth into 6, and now to take the lead, Carney. Gail Gilbert, the holder. 14-13 San Diego.
My goodness. It
6:41 left.
Dick, it takes so little to supply momentum, but here's the guy who's going to catch the ball over here. But watch all the activity here of San Diego to influence Kansas City's defense. A good job of selling this. And when Young gets over there was nobody around, and Humphries makes sure of that one. And they've made very few plays today. San Diego has. But they've managed to take the lead.
And I think it's important here, Bob, that we talk about how the defense of Kansas City had kept them in that 13-0, making the big plays, giving Montana field position. Now, late in this game, it's the defense of the Chargers that has come to life. And Darren Carrington with the ricochet. If I recall, it was Junior Seau right in the thick of that one, too, to force the bobble. And it falls in the lap of Carrington. And 8 yards later, the Chargers had the lead. Joe Montana, 2 interceptions today.
The way Kansas City has played the first, second part of the third quarter, they were lulled into the fact that, hey, they are not going to do much against this. And Adolph is again with the good field position because of the turnover. It's easy for any offense, Dick.
While the Charger offense was defused the entire first half, Kansas City with only 49 yards total in the second half. But they get the ball, trailing by 1. Plenty of time, 6:41. And remember, the Chiefs spent 2 of their timeouts early in the third quarter, so they have only 1 timeout if that should come into play. Carney, line driver. Very returnable, and that's Anders out to the 33-yard line. Right after football from Kansas City, we remind you of the exciting conclusion of the World Cup of Golf from Puerto Rico's Dorado Beach Resort. American spread couples Davis Love III can capture an unprecedented 3rd consecutive World Cup victory against a strong field of 2-man teams around the world. That's the conclusion, the World Cup of Golf, next here on NBC. Wayne Young. The saber-toothed catfish has struck.
What a cruel nickname.
Well, they all have fun, the Chargers. And with that, Greg Hill weaving his way to the 40. A good gain on first down of 7. Chicago leading Miami less than a minute to go down at Joe Robbie. Bears have been tough on the AFC.
They sure have, especially with Steve Walsh at quarterback.
And that has to rate as a surprise Philadelphia at home. That Browns defense has been outstanding all season. Arizona, after down 9-0, takes the lead. 2nd down and 2. It's a first down. He's all the way to the 41-yard line. 19-yard rumble by Kimball Anders.
Boy, good, just straight ahead blocking by the Kansas City offensive line. They run away from Junior Seau. Leslie O'Neal almost makes some contact but can't. Kimball Anders, big, good running back, and a crucial play there for Kansas City.
Anders getting his chance to run the ball with Marcus Allen hurt. He has 40 yards rushing. He had only 89 all season on the ground. Montana trying to get at least into field position for a field goal. And this is off the fingertips of Anders.
Oh, he tried one-handed. Thought he could do it one-handed. Junior Seau on the blitz, but Joe Montana is able to get it off. And you'll see Anders just stick one hand up. He can get the other one. He's trying to make one a little fancy there.
And meanwhile, Montana, in a rare streak of misses, he has 7 consecutive balls hit the ground. Those aren't Montana-esque figures, are they? Greg Hill, whoa, you could hear the leather pop at the line of scrimmage there. And the hit made by big number 98, Sean Grizzly Lee.
That was a slap. I mean, that was shoulder pad to helmet. There was no room there. And again, now these defensive tackles, Davis, 93, 98 Grizzly, Sean Lee, man, didn't gain anything. Chad, bring it in here again, big fella. Go ahead, bring it in here again.
4:35 left. Critical 3rd and 11. Screen, and what a play made That's Darren Carrington. He was about the only white jersey in 20 yards. They had it set up beautifully. They got the Chargers in a blitz, and only Carrington, who had to come from a long way to make that short tackle, saved what could have been a huge play for the Chiefs.
You know, they call Arnsparger one more reel Bill. Well, this is from one more reel. Watch what comes from the left-hand side. Here comes Carrington. Bam. He is looking at reel after reel in the CNET play and recognizes what's happening.
Aguiar to Gordon, and Gordon with a fair catch. San Diego will have the ball at the 18, less than 4 to go.
Next Sunday at 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 Pacific. A great lineup of games from coast to coast. Joe Montana and the Chiefs take on Eric Metcalf and the Browns. Dan Marino and the Dolphins battle the Steelers. Boomer and the Jets take on Warren Moon and the Vikings, or regional action. Next Sunday at 12:30 Eastern on NBC.
Check out the reception.
Dick, this is why players watch film. Here's where the screen takes place. Here's Carrington. He closes. Arnsparger has these guys watch reel after reel. Carrington didn't bite. He stayed disciplined. He knew that Kim Landers was his guy. He's there to make the tackle, and a huge tackle it is.
Crowd trying to help the Kansas City defense. Time remaining. Chargers by 1. Oh, intercepted by Simeon. Tracy said no. They say no. That the ball hit the ground as he rolled. I thought he picked it cleanly.
So did I. Rockethead trying to lobby. Why this when they run the delay outside to the inside receiver? Oh, it did bounce.
He bobbled, and
it did bounce.
That's a kind of a risky play with a 1-point lead and down on your own 18.
Sure.
But the Chargers have shown today that with a reverse on the wet field that they're not throwing anything out of the playbook.
But that's a high percentage pass. Just well played by Kansas City.
Over the middle to Say. And Mark Say with a first down at the 35-yard line. 17 on the play, and Say with 3 catches in the second half.
Good job done by Say to make himself a receiver. It looks like Humphries is intending to go left. Nothing there. So the outlet side of the offense is to the other side. Say makes himself a receiver. Humphries finds him, and nice first down pickup.
And Kansas City will use their final timeout now at the 3:28 mark.
What an advantage now for San Diego, because Kansas City's defense can't stop the clock. San Diego be very conservative here. Take every second off the 25-second clock. Well, those 2 lost to early timeouts hurt a lot here.
Don't they always, huh?
Dick in Cincinnati. This is the difference in the Bengals-Oilers game. Billy Joe Tolliver 5 yards to Webster Slaughter. The Oilers have scored 37 points in the last month. They have 31 today. They lead the Bengals 31-24 in the fourth quarter.
So the Oilers and the Bengals, 2 hungry teams battling in a high-scoring game, and here low-scoring in the weather. The Chiefs now injury-riddled and without timeouts, and trailing by 1, and a first down for Humphries from the Chargers at the 35.
Should see a lot of Natron Means from here on out.
There's the first one, and Natron, knocking his own blocker ahead, has 5 on first down, and for him that's a long gain today. Jamison there for the tackle. 51 yards for the man who has rushed for over 100 each of the last 5.
Now San Diego's got to be very slow getting up, be very deliberate, and this is in the hands of Stan Humphries. Use every possible tick of the clock here.
Meanwhile, Kansas City must stop San Diego without another first down. They got to give Montana the ball. He has no timeouts when they do. Means again breaks tackles and is close to the first down, short by a yard.
Perfect. Here goes another 45 seconds now. If you're a San Diego fan, this is exactly what you want. Let's see the
30. Actually, the 2-minute timeout won't hit until the Chargers run another play. That's a break for Kansas City. It's about a 1-second difference. Third and 1. A must stop for Kansas City. And they go wide, and Means doesn't make it. At the 2-minute timeout, the Chiefs have stopped San Diego. When we come back, the Chargers will be punting the ball. 2 minutes to go. The defense for the Chiefs doing their job well, stopping the Chargers. 2 minutes to go. No timeouts left. Dale Carter back to return, and Carter with 2 career touchdowns. One of those against San Diego. In fact, it was the very first NFL game in which he played. Brian Wagner. Chiefs have always been good at blocking kicks, but one of those attempts hurt them today. Bad kick, short. But Carter at the 15, 20, and out of bounds at the 23. And here comes Joe Montana. Late in the game. 36 times Marino in the fourth quarter overtime has led game-winning drives, and in second place Montana. Taking the lead for the final time is how you qualify for that statistic. For a while it was Elway up there, but
yes,
they readjusted his numbers.
But would you believe that Montana's always seemed to be the most famous ones? I mean, everybody remembers Montana's fourth quarter comebacks.
1 for 6 and no yards in the fourth quarter today. He led the Chiefs to a victory a 2 years ago at San Diego in a similar circumstance. No timeouts, just took him right down and scored. He comes out, throws underneath, fumbles, and incomplete is the call. Junior Seau and Reuben Davis making the hit, and the ball popping free, and Darren Carrington right there on the spot again, as he was for the intercept.
Nick, let me make this comment too. Look who he has in there to try to get this done with. He's got Eric Martin, certainly a quality receiver, but not used to being with Joe. Lake Dawson, he has a rookie receiver, excellent, but not used to being with Joe.
Good point.
They would sure like to have Marcus Allen, J.J. Bird,
and Willie Davis, and J.J. Bird. So their skill positions really hurting most of all. 2nd and 10. Montana eludes the rush, but throws low. Derek Martin. So Montana, 10 attempts. Last 10 attempts, no passing yards. Raining Harden.
Joe gets all the credit, but he does need help. This time Sigler 66 allows Mims 94 just enough pressure to flush Joe from the pocket, and now it comes down to 3rd and 10. Joe threw it into the ground. He wants to make every play, but the other 10 have got to work.
Natron Means now in the cheerleader position. A 4-down situation for Montana. Into the flat to Jimmy Johnson. Cut down quickly.
Get up. Get back to the line of scrimmage.
Van Horst made the tackle. So 4th down, and the Chiefs have to go for it. They don't want to punt to San Diego with no timeouts. And boy, those 2 timeouts taken in the first minute and a half of the third quarter have really come back to burn at Kansas City side. Now it's 4th down. 4 to go for the first down. More of that. 4th down and 8. The scoreboard is wrong. Montana eluding the rush and finds an open man. Walker, first down at the 37.
Now he's got to stop the clock. Yeah, that's what Marty's saying.
53-52. And there it is. That's first down. So now it's 2nd down. Montana just wants to get into field goal range, and Lynn Elliott, his longest in the NFL in his career, 53 yards.
O'Neal with the pressure from the right side flushes Joe out of the pocket. There you see 91. He does get held a little bit, but then he finds Walker, the former San Diego Charger, just enough for the first down. There's still life. Let's see if we can see. It's Graham got a hold of the shirt of Leslie, front and back of the shirt.
Tough to sack.
Yeah. Almost time to take that jersey off. Not quite yet.
That was a kind overlook by the referee right in front of him. Blum. To the sidelines to Dickerson, who gets out of bounds with a gain of about 5 at the 43. 42 seconds left.
Did I just see Joe Montana motion to say, come on, let's try it one time up the field? Let's see if they call something. I thought I saw Joe Montana just give a little nod of the head. Give me one shot up the field here. Let's see what happens.
Remember, this is 3rd down. They used the down to stop the clock. Third and long 4. Too high for Lake Dawson. 4th and 4.
This game has kept everybody here at Arrowhead. Nobody's even thought about leaving.
And Joe Montana, who converted on 1 4th down, has another. Or like playing in a high stakes poker game where everyone else gets an extra card and you don't. To the sidelines to Dickerson. It's enough for the first down, but he doesn't get out of bounds.
They may have to measure here, Dick.
It is a first down.
That was quick.
And Montana stops the clock. 21 seconds. Now, the standings in the AFC West. We talked about this poker game and the high stakes. High indeed. San Diego with a 1-game lead coming in here. A victory would give them the 2-game lead, but more importantly, 2 wins over the Chiefs. So in essence, a 3-game advantage coming down the stretch, where a Kansas City win would tie them at 7-3 each with a win, and actually then Kansas City would have the better record in the division.
I understand every bit of that.
Montana's playing for all of that. Time running out to the sidelines. Incomplete. Now Joe wise enough there to know that he wasn't going to get anything out of that play anyway, so better off to not let his man catch it in bounds. 16 seconds left.
The other factor here is that you have to use only the outside third of each side of the sideline. If you're Joe Montana, you can't throw that ball down the middle. You don't have a timeout. You won't have a chance to run another play if it's more than 10 yards long.
But maybe that's what you have left, the one long throw down the middle and hope.
He doesn't have that much guts.
Doesn't he? David Hughes at the 32-yard line.
Game over.
No, they could throw the ball. If they could spot the ball and Montana can get that ball on the ground, he does. Time runs out, but a flag down. Let's see.
No, wait a minute. Wait a minute. The flag is for the defense is offside. The game can't end on a defensive penalty. And if they may get another snap.
And 5 more yards toward the field goal.
There's a conversation going on here.
Chargers are celebrating, but let's see
There's
the
no
call.
foul. The game is over.
San Diego 14. Kansas City 13. And Bobby Ross's Chargers, rallying in the second half, have reclaimed a solid lead atop the AFC West. A 3-game swing with Montana standing within a second away of giving his team a chance at a winning field goal.
And Dick, it comes down to just little things. That dumb thing on the punt by Ron Dickerson that gave San Diego the chance to turn it around. The 2 timeouts used early in the second half. And man, what a character win by the San Diego Chargers.
Well, let's get a feeling of the spirit of the Chargers to Hannah Storm.
40. I'm here with Darren Carrington, who had the interception that set up the winning score. What does this victory mean to you guys? You got a 2-game lead now.
It means a great thing. You know, we messed up a couple of games, but this was the game that we need to get over the hump. We haven't won here in about 5 years, and it just feels good.
So apparently microphone difficulties. The San Diego Chargers with a win. Some final comments in a moment.
This is Greg Gumbel in New York. What a shootout in Cincinnati. Jeff Blake of the Bengals, the 3rd time today he's hooked up with Carl Pickens on a touchdown play. This one 21 yards. He has the ball again with under a minute to play, and it's a 31-31 tie. Meanwhile, in Miami, less than 10 seconds to play. Pete Stoyanovic's 46-yard field goal attempt partially blocked by James Williams, and the Bears hold on to beat the Dolphins 17-14. Let's go back to Dick Enberg.
No lie. So San Diego's Chargers 14-13, and the reaction of a team that has done something in the AFC West that no team has accomplished in some 17 seasons. Not since the Denver Broncos swept all opponents on the road has anyone done it until today. San Diego has won every road game against an AFC West opponent, a complete sweep, and the employee owners of Avis salute the game's MVP, Junior Seau. Knocked down one pass, led to an interception, 9 tackles for the leading tackler on this Charger team. The winner of today's We Try Harder award. The Kansas City Chiefs wounded key positions, had the lead, but the Chargers rally 14-13. For Bob Trumpy and Hannah Storm, I'm Dick Enberg saying so long from Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. This has been a presentation of NBC Sports in our 30th year of covering the NFL.